Is this Dan?
Yes.
Hello, Dan.
Come on in, Dan. Hi, Raj.
Raj,
Mike.
Nice to meet you.
This is
if you
you.
come and
Come in
stand
here.
just on the corner
I'll get you to hold
there.
that just like that.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, just like this.
Done.
Perfect.
Like a newsreader. Perfect.
All right, very good.
Bit higher.
Very nice. Oh.
Like that?
There.
Yeah, nice.
And there's the camera.
Okay.
There's the people.
Hello, Facebook Live. They're all there.
All right, great.
Yes.
So we're going.
We
Oh,
are
we've been
live.
going.
So yes, so don't swear. I've done none so far.
That's good.
I'm at a 0. Just
We're going for the
15.
record of none.
0.
Yeah.
I nearly did one a minute ago. Weta Digital. Another Miramar person.
Yeah.
Well, Miramar. Do you live in Miramar?
Yeah, nearby. Yeah.
Excellent. There we go. Miramar as well.
Excellent.
You see, so that's
Very
the
good.
only place.
Apparently that's the only place in the world as well.
It's the best place in the world, and that's just the way it is. And you're working at, say, Weta Digital?
Weta Digital, yeah.
Now, before we crack into all of the things and all of the stuff that you've been talking about,
What makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Creativity makes me happy, and kind of in all stripes. I love to see creativity in technology. I love to see creativity in the arts. I love a good story, and just seeing different ways that people think and people experience the world makes me happy.
excellent.
Nice.
You must
Yeah.
see some weird stuff. What you do?
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, you're one of the many millions out there in Miramar that's got an Oscar, I understand.
Yeah.
Tell them what it's like to get an Oscar,
what's
because
like, yeah.
I know it's not what we're meant to be talking about, but they're all asking. They're all
Yeah.
going, "Oh, how do you get an Oscar?" Well, not how. but-
It's pretty cool. I have to say, it's awesome. I mean, there's no denying that it's an incredible experience. I've been able to go to the awards 4 times now, so I've got experience winning Oscar. I've got more experience losing the Oscar.
that should have been the question.
But either way, you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, the best thing about my job is my job. Like being able to work with the people at Weta Digital and just work with some of the smartest, most creative people in the world.
Yeah.
To collaborate in telling stories that are pushing the envelope of what's possible. So we're able now to tell stories that weren't even possible 5 years ago, and that to me is an amazing thing.
Yeah. Now, you work. Is this true? You work in motion capture. That's your bag, man, or not?
Yeah, no, I'm a visual effects supervisor, so
Oh, right.
Whatever's required to tell a story, to make a movie or television show, commercial, whatever. My job is to figure out how to do it, and
Bring all the people, the right people,
the
on
right
the pieces.
people, the right
Yeah.
technology, the right creative process, and I guess part of that with stories that I've been working on recently is the performance capture tools, and of course performance capture is it's a tool set that allows you to use actors to drive digital characters. So rather than doing sort of the traditional Disney style animation where you have a team of 20, 30 people, creative animators contributing to the performance of a character, like deciding shot by shot, frame by frame what that character is going to do in a post-production kind of situation. Instead, you cast a single actor to be the author of that performance, and they go onto set and they work with the other actors and the director, and they figure out what that character is going to to.
So
And
they
then, of
become
course,
the character, right?
Yeah,
They
exactly. They become the
that-
character.
Yeah.
And then the second part of that is our team back at Weta, our artists and our technicians, they work incredibly hard to take what that actor's done on the day on the set and figure out what it is about that performance that's key and how to get that from that actor onto the digital character.
Yeah.
And that's something that's there's not a button you can push. The computer doesn't do it on its own.
No, it's
And-
not like create ape pools.
No,
No, it doesn't. No.
There are a lot of things like
There's a button.
So-
You think there's a button?
yeah, of
The
course,
ape
we've worked a
button.
lot with Andy Serkis, and he's played a number of memorable characters over these. He's played Gollum, which really put the performance capture tools on the map for a lot of
Yes.
people, and I think was one of the first and most successful digital characters in movies. And then he went on to play King Kong. He's played Caesar. He's played Snoke in the Star Wars movies. He's just an incredible actor, and every character he plays is very different. And they're very different because of what he brings to it as a character actor in terms of playing each character differently, but also like the characters are designed differently, and most of them don't actually look anything like Andy.
That's right.
And so to
Right,
figure
yeah.
out how to take what Andy does, with his face and with his body, and put it onto an ape who looks nothing like him, looks completely different.
Yeah.
Like apes have this big muzzle that sticks out. they don't really have this what we call the nasolabial fold, which is this wrinkle that goes from your nose to the corner of your mouth, and that's it's critical for like a sneer expression. So when he sneers on set, we have to figure out how to make the ape look like he's sneering, and how to make him as emotionally engaging. The way we put these movies together, the director, will film what they're doing on set, and he'll cut the movie together with his editors using the version of the movie where it's Andy Serkis in the funny gray suit with the funny microphone
on the thing in front.
Yeah.
Looks a lot like what you guys have on your head right now. And
So we can do it.
yeah,
All right, let's go.
exactly.
We're motion
And it's
capture.
kind of distracting, But what's interesting is that once you start looking at the movie assembled that way, your suspension of disbelief kicks in, and suddenly you're like, oh yeah, he's an ape. It's like in theater, you just say like, I'm the King of England, and suddenly everybody's like, oh yeah, you're the King of England. Like, moving on.
Or the Muppets.
Yeah, exactly.
You could see them on the stage with their hands up in Kermit. There's a phrase you don't often hear.
Yeah.
And you'd look at them and go, oh yeah, there's a person. And you'd look
They're
up and
doing
go,
their
that's
thing.
Kermit.
Yeah.
Right.
And your brain just went, yeah, that's Kermit.
It's like, yeah,
That one.
and suddenly like, I care about that green frog.
Yeah.
I care about his plight emotionally. I relate
Yes.
to him.
Yeah.
He has a hard time fitting in. He's a little
Yeah.
socially awkward. Like I'm like that. Like,
That's right.
So we experienced that with Andy Serkis in the gray suit. He looks ridiculous. He's got these dots on him, this funny thing in front of his face. But the movie gets cut together, and you watch it, and emotionally you connect with him because of what he's doing as an actor.
Wow,
those
that's amazing.
details.
Yeah.
So our job then is to take that and everything that's working on Andy's face, we have to get working on Caesar's face or on Gollum's face or on
Yeah.
King Kong, whatever character he's playing, so that all the work that he's done translates to the audience as well as Andy Serkis did to us while we were making the movie.
Yeah. And so, whilst there's technical tools, of course, that you use, it's a technical process, as in
Yeah.
a computerized that taking that emotion is not a technical process. That's an artistic, creative process, then, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It is. It's. There are technical aspects to it, but it's really relies on the judgment of the modelers that are building the kind of expression shapes.
Yeah.
And also the animators that are dialing those in, like the specific timing and the beats, the way that they hit those moments. That all affects whether you and I watching the movie connect with it in the same way that we would with the real actor.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just incredibly hard, and it requires a lot of skill and experience and expertise on the part of the artists and the animators.
Yeah.
So, what's the perfect person? If you suddenly said, I need a person that's going to be in the team to create this, and you go,
Yeah.
oh, I've got a slot. I'm going to fill that slot.
Yeah.
And I walk up, and I've obviously changed slightly, but I've got all the attributes you're looking for. What is it that I bring in?
Right. It really depends on the specific, because for these kind of movies, like Planet of the Apes, we probably had about 500 people that were just at Weta that were working on Planet of the Apes in some capacity or another. And every job has its own kind of list of skill sets and attributes that make you an ideal candidate for that position. But I think the across the board, the key thing is enthusiasm and dedication. Like the artists that succeed, and the same goes with the technologists, the software engineers, the people that are doing the production support work. Like the people that care the most about the movie and care the most about their work, and get obsessive about it, and can also communicate and get along with everybody else. They're the ones that end up being the most successful. And it's there are very few skills that don't translate into the kind of work that we do. We've got people that are incredibly smart doing PhD research in areas of artificial intelligence and all aspects of computer science.
Wow.
We've got people that are just the most talented fine artists that can paint a painting on canvas that looks completely photorealistic. And
that's cool.
Sculptors and and people that are just like really good at organizing people and communicating and helping everybody getting the most out of people. And so all those disciplines are really important when you're putting together something that's as big and monolithic as these projects.
I'm just
Tired,
I'm knackered now.
It's exhausting, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
it must be.
What's the funnerest part for you?
I think for me, there's it is a little bit of a process of like there's a magic to it. There's a bit of where you go through these exercises of like designing a character and then cutting, like building it, sculpting it, cutting it into pieces, and adding these muscles, and like building the skeleton and hanging the muscles on them, setting up the dynamic systems. There's all these kind of technical things, and the animators go in, and when they start, they're working with sort of it's like a video game level puppet, and it's real time. They can pose it and move it around, and it has a certain amount of believability and realism. You get to like that kind of Muppet stage where it might not look perfectly real, but it's behaving in a way. It's got some character, and that's fun. But there's a moment where, and sometimes it's in that stage, and sometimes it's not until you start putting the fur and the skin textures on, and you watch the shot, and it's been assembled with the background, and you're like, oh my god, like the character's alive. Like,
wow.
Suddenly, like this thing that was sort of abstract and just an idea, and you're kind of chiseling away at it.
Yeah.
It's there is a moment where
it's kind
of like somebody flipped the switch, and now I believe it. I engage with it, and I empathize, and I want to see more of it.
Like, it's real now.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So there's that. It suddenly becomes part of the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As opposed to a thing we've created.
Yeah,
It's like,
suddenly
part of
it's
the team.
alive.
yeah.
It's like Frankenstein.
That's a beautiful moment. That's a beautiful
cool,
moment.
So,
Now, how can people get in touch with yourself if they want to know more about this, or just want to have a yarn, to be fair? Ask
what's a
questions
good
now.
avenue? Where are you usually on? What social channel, maybe, or an email?
And then Weta in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can tweet at me. I'm on Twitter as Dan Lemmon. Weta Digital is on Twitter as well. Those are some good avenues to kind of engage in conversation.
Yep.
And that's probably the best way. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Well, I think Weta has a Facebook page they can follow as well, and we're regularly posting little behind-the-scenes vignettes, little like 1 or 2 minute clips that explain how we did one aspect of a thing or another thing. There's a bunch of stuff from Apes up there. There's a bunch of stuff from Marvel and Infinity Wars that has just come out. Some of the Thanos work that we did.
Oh yeah.
There's some Rampage things. There's a lot of stuff that's
Rampage is a good movie.
yeah, recent stuff that and it gives you a little peek behind the curtain, which is fun.
That's what we like to hear. Yeah, that's cool.
That's what people love, isn't it? The peek behind
see
the
how you
curtain.
did that.
Well, you've had a peek behind the curtain. I hope you have. I think you have.
Yeah.
It's weird when I'm talking over there and Jono's not there. I really do
It's
feel
just
like
the
I'm
people.
talking to the mirror
Jono's
or something.
not supervising the people.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Really
Nice
appreciate
meeting you
it.
guys.
Thanks a lot for your time. It was great. Thanks a
care.
lot. I'll grab that.
Cheers.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Wow, fascinating stuff, eh? It's all happening over there in your hometown.
I tell you, mate.
Of Miramar.
I tell you, every time I talk to someone from Weta, I always learn a bit more.